Hi, everybody. Welcome to our penultimate episode for 2026, our second last episode.
We're the vocab.
Thank you, penultimate. Yeah, almost there. Earned doctorate. Anyways,
True.
So very exciting. We got some. What do we have? We have some new furniture. We have more work on the doors.
Yeah.
And some great sunsets.
So we have to be done.
Yeah, exactly. This is the second last episode. Next week will be our journey home, and then we'll do a Christmas special later. But we're going to finish up season 6, and we're very excited. Thanks for coming with us.
Holidays are almost here. So we just got back from Beaugé, and there was a lady that her grandfather had gone to an estate sale here at the Grifferaie, and this table used to be in there, which is very cool. So we were able to buy it from her.
1930s.
Yeah.
1930s. So this is coming home back to the Grifferaie. You love French furniture. It all comes apart.
Of course.
And then it looks solid. So we'll go set it up and show you.
It'll be fun. So when I did the ladies' tea here at the house, I met a lovely lady who I've been praying for, honestly, to come up in my life that could help us with French. And she's been incredible. So she goes to our church and had a neighbor that was getting rid of some pieces of furniture and wondered if we could use it. And I said, sure, we got space. It was a little settee and 2 little chairs that went with. And when I got them, I realized that the back of them, so normally on a chair, and that one's flat too actually. Sometimes on a chair, it won't be completely flat like this, but this one's completely flat versus the front.
And why is that?
Because they would have been able to put them straight up against a wall, like in a dining room. The back is completely flat, so it could sit flush right against the wall and save space. Same with the back of this settee, probably in a foyer, maybe in a dining room or something like that, where the chairs could be nice and flat, and it would save space. Another fun little detail in here that I didn't see before was there's some really pretty hand painting, which is fun. I never thought of doing that on some of these chairs, but that's a great idea. I think it's on the sofa here too. Look how cute. These beautiful little flowers, and they gilded a little bit on the seashell all the way down. And then, oh, they have it on the sides too. Cute. So that's beautiful little detail. Oh, and this has all the way down. Aww. See, it's those little details that we just don't always have.
Yeah, Viva la France. This is fun. Look at the old French hardware. You put the rod through it, then you tighten it up with that big old wing nut. Fun. Here we go. I think we're looking at keeping it right here in the center.
This is backwards.
Backwards. So that you walk in, you see it, and you see the Grand Salon. Still getting everything centered here with, yeah. That's nice. It's a nice addition. New day, new week. Let's go. Got some tools to help us. Got to get these pieces cut. I was having a terrible time with this blade, and I'm looking at it, and I think some of these teeth are broken right off. So that's been part of the problem, I think. So I went out and picked up a new blade. It was an outrageous amount of money. I want to say it was more than 50 bucks, which feels crazy to me, but it is what it is. And also I picked up another help. I got a little bit of a clamp. I got one of these, you can't see it yet. Well, I'll put this on a time lapse so you can see what I'm doing, but I'm building, it's like a little workbench that has a clamping feature, which I'll need because I'll clamp, and then we'll be able to use the router. This is a great example of how things go. So I went to start on making those little wood pieces for the front door, and I noticed that my blade is getting so bad that I had to go buy another blade. So drive in to go buy another blade. I go to change the blade, but the wrench I have doesn't work, so I need to go all the way out to the restaurant to bring a bunch of tools back. So I'm thinking, well, okay, let's throw those on the mower. It's a lot easier than carrying them. They're pretty heavy. But then when I get to the mower, I realize, okay, the mower has a bit of a flat tire, so I gotta go fix that. So I go to start going to fix that, and then I realize, oh, the robot mower got stuck. So I gotta go fix him and get him going, and then we're gonna go back to this guy and get him going. Then we're gonna get those tools over there, and then we're gonna bring the sockets back and change the blade, and then we're gonna start. It's complicated.
walking by and I see a hole. I mean, I'm happy that we get to clean that all out because it's a mess, but it was a little disconcerting. Oh, wow, there it is. Ew. I know, it literally falls apart. I know.
Did you hear the fall birds? Beautiful sunny day here in France. Cold, almost got down to freezing, but beautifully sunny and the leaves look great. And a great day for continuing work on the doors. Now you can see I've made some progress. I have chiseled out the bases, which was no small thing. In fact, I was quite nervous after the first one because the whole board broke off. So I was like, oh, that's not good. So we're gonna have to rebuild that. But we got her flat so that we can put on our new pieces. I'm priming them to try to protect them from water. All the sides, we're gonna paint them, of course. And I'm just priming some of the wood that we pried it off. We're gonna use construction adhesive. We'll use a couple of screws to hold it in and try to get it nice and strong. Then we'll caulk it real good and we'll see how this looks.
And I have been working up a storm, but when that happens, we don't really always eat great. And we're trying to thin out the pantries from session and get the house cleaned out before, you know, the next stage of life happens. So this is when I also experiment. So I've decided to experiment with a little Soufflé for two by Jacques Papon. I tell you, he has been like a mentor, which is weird because it's just on video. However, he's awesome. He's a French chef that has lived in America a long time. He's like 90 now. He's incredible. Anyway, this is a little souffle for two. Just these little tiny ramekins, which you see I've buttered really generously. And then I'm gonna put a bit of, he says to put in parm. I don't have any parm right now. So it's gonna be finely shredded Gruyere that I'm gonna pop in here. We did something fast tonight because we're both kind of in the middle of doing stuff. I'm working on storage, and Rob got to those bottom pieces on my doors that I was painting because they were a mess. Like literally hard to believe they were staying together, to be honest. And so anyway, so we're putting this little cheese around. We do this so that the egg can grab something on its way up if we want it to grow and look fantastic. He uses a whole container of cream cheese. Now on his it said whipped cream cheese, which I can't get here. I'm just told I can get cream cheese. So I added a little bit of cream and whipped it up with the whisk, and then put in a bunch of chives, which is great. So you want to have a little bit of air, apparently, in here, and then we're gonna add an egg and salt and pepper, which my salt is starting to go down here because it gets so moist. It literally starts just like clumping up and refuses to be salt. During the winter, it literally will start to go back to its original form of salt water. It's pretty funny, actually. Also some pepper. And then I think that's all he said to put in, actually. And then, yes, that is it. And then we're just gonna mix it all up. So, egg, cream cheese, salt and pepper, fresh chives, because I figure it may freeze tonight. So let's use them while we have them. And we'll mix this up real good, or really well, which would probably be better English. And then I'm just gonna divide it up between these two ramekins, and we're gonna pop them in the oven. I think he said for like 18 to 20 minutes or something, and we'll see how they do. There they are, looking puffy, looking golden. He says that these can sit for a little minute. If you want to turn them over, they'll deflate a little, and then you could flip them over for like a salad or a first course or a starter or something like that. But there they are, super easy. It was ridiculous. He said he would do it as a first course, something like that, which is fun. I like it.
Bingley and I outside at the end of the day. What do you think, Bingley? What do you think, Bubs? Man, that front door project is taking way longer than I thought it would. Like way longer. You know, like I started prying those things off, and then the whole bottom piece of the door started coming off. And I'm like, oh great, here we go. So it is what it is. At least it's the outside ones that are really bad, and they're the ones that we're not planning on having open. So we'll manage. But that took like 2 days longer than I thought it was going to take. This is great. We got our roofers here checking out the roof, and I'm pulling down the old telephone wire, which is just sitting there. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I figure I got some time while they're talking. And let's just keep pulling it down. So right now the guys are saying that the wood might be able to be saved over here on the two wings, but the middle, they'd redo the whole middle. But they said we need less wood because it's not slate, so it's not as heavy. So that's really good news. We'll see what they come back for a price. In some ways, I suppose it's comforting knowing that the wood's gonna be gone now anyways. We hopefully can reuse some of those beams somewhere else, because they look like they could still have some use somewhere. Now, those of you that have watched the channel for a while, can you see, isn't that look so much nicer? With that big ugly white conduit running across. Well, that's much, much nicer. Here's a view you don't see often. This is the backside. This is where our stables joins up with our neighbor. See how the nice job he's done here. So we want to obviously protect it so that his roof doesn't go down. And they have a really fun little area over there. Really nice. But for now, well, a little disappointing news on the stables. We had the roofers that gave us a quote. The quote came back high, like 176,000 euro. And that's for a metal roof, so not even slate. So that's really tough. We were hoping for something less than 100,000. So back to the drawing board. Every season has its beauty here at the Grifferaie, and the beauty of fall is that the sun is so low that you can see sparkles on the chandelier. Don't know if you're gonna be able to see them on the camera. Can you see them? They're quite glorious. I don't know if the camera will pick them up. Try to go this way and see if we can catch a couple. Yeah, maybe, maybe not. Yeah, there's a couple, eh? There's a couple. Installing the base pieces, they're primed. I'm using these knives as shims because just in case we ever want to open this, we need enough clearance that it'll swing open. This one, as you remember, we pulled out the whole bottom of the door, and so I'm putting a piece of wood, I'm gonna screw them together. Honestly, this door won't work very well without some more significant repair, but since we don't open it anyways, we're gonna screw it in together, nail it, put some adhesive on it, and caulk it, and it'll be good for now. So there it is, just some construction adhesive, and then we'll pop that guy right on there. Construction adhesive and also a couple of screws just to hold it while that adhesive dries. And then again, we'll caulk the outside. Oh, it looks like it's another beautiful sunset, but we don't have time because it's supper time and it's time to get started on supper, and we're not quite done. Almost done. That side's done. Well, that's gonna have to harden up and I'll have to redo it. This side's almost done and this side's done. Oh, let's go take a look at the sunset. Oh, that rainbow sunset. That is cool. I've never seen that before. Let's see if I can capture it even better. It looks good. Yeah, that was probably worth coming out to see. Look at that, eh? It's a moving sunset. It's a sunset in the going on the way through. Really wish I had a stand. I could time lapse this for you guys. By the way, something running around in the bush behind me. I think there's 4 deer. We've seen them several times, and they're you know, they're all living, I think, in this forest right behind us. It's kind of fun. I'm like, hunters, stay away from them. I understand the song, we ain't need to get hunted, but let's let these deer live, I think. They're not hurting anybody. All right, painting the base pieces. It's a bit cold. We'll see how this does, but you know what? We're not gonna leave it white. So these ones are still unpainted, and It definitely blends in nice with the paint. There you go. We gotta clean that up. Yeah, much better. Yeah, you can see the difference, eh? It's wet, so it looks a little, it's the same paint, but it looks a lot better. And over here, yeah, all blends together. And it's sealed. I'm gonna have to go back and caulk the bottom, I think, when the weather warms up, but you know, it's much better. There we go. All protected. The 3 middle doors, a little darker in the middle for Leslie. The 2 outside ones completely caulked shut, keep the rain and the air out. And the center, of course, still free swinging, but much better support against the water. And Mr. Bingley approves. Does he approve? He's like, I'd like some more food, please.
It's very exciting. Guess what I found online on a Black Friday deal? A normal size washer and dryer. So anyway, they're here. Let's see if I can get it so you can see it. They're outside. They're gonna unload it down into the basement. We have no cool laundry room for it yet, but soon, well, at some point we will, but we won't get it hooked up quite yet, but exciting that laundry should soon not take as long as it always has. I have loved this little set. It's an Electrolux. It's fantastic, but it's only 8 kg. This is my hand. You can kind of see it's almost the size of the of the tub. They're very small compared to the ones we have at home. Again, here's my hand inside versus the big kind that we have at home where I could fit in, and the dog, and who knows what else. So anyway, this will speed things up considerably. Here it comes. It's very exciting. We'll see if they're any good. I definitely have a few steps to get down.
This is a beauty. Remember, these are 9-foot ceilings. That is big, and it's one piece, isn't it, Bess?
It's fascinating. Well, it kind of, yeah.
It's connected at least.
I know it.
It's heavy. It's heavier than I've ever moved.
I'm a little weirded out by it, actually.
The guy's got it in, but it was at work, you know.
It was. It really is fat.
Oh, that's not what we want to do. But this is going to be so great for being able to get everything in. When you have all those bed sheets and stuff, this is going to make life a lot better. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's getting towards the end of November, and it's been getting close to freezing lately, so a little bit colder outside, but still beautiful on the park. Oh my goodness. I was just out now. We're getting almost ready to go home. We got maybe one more video after. They got this week, and then the week after, next week, I think is going to be closing up. Also very interested to see what happens at the border as we try to get back in. Hope there's no trouble. I know it's, yeah. So that'll be an interesting video too. We'll journal that for sure. But anyways, I was driving around this beautiful property, and as you guys know, I love mowing this place. There's something fun about mowing. You see what you've done. It looks beautiful after you've done, especially when you don't have a push mower, when you have a riding mower. It's just like you're driving around. That's a great time. And then of course you look up and you see this beauty, this beautiful Chateau. And not only the beautiful Chateau, I'll move over to the right here, like, you know, even these beautiful oaks, you're going in and I'm going in and out of these over here, and you know, all kinds of beauty. Over here we've got the, you know, the Italian trees and the restaurant. But I was thinking, I heard a quote once, and somebody said something to the effect, I think it was a rock star, said something to the effect of, I'd rather rule in hell than be a servant in heaven. And I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, you go girl. Like I'll be a servant in heaven, because there is joy in, you know, finding a cause that's bigger than yourself and trying to make the world a better place and finding your little way to do that. And that's what we've done here. And, you know, buying this house has been hard, but it's been rewarding and fun, and seeing the joy of the students. And I guess we're kind of leaders, but honestly, a good leader is a servant, you know, servant leadership. to be honest, when I think of that quote, I'm not sure that person really understands leadership. Because would you really want to rule in hell? Can you imagine trying to, if you know, if obviously this is hypothetical, but if there was a hell where there's all these people, and they're probably terrible people, and you're trying to control them, and you're gonna have to like punish and hurt, and oh, that'd be terrible. I don't want to do that at all. So all that to say, we don't know. This is, you know, just a mental diversion here, a little intellectual exercise, but I got to tell you, I'm really enjoying mowing the old yard here and enjoying this beauty while I'm doing it. Mr. Bingley.
What are you doing, Bubba?
Is in nesting mode. He's running around the house, taking his toys and trying to bury them. I think he's cold.
I think he knows.
He thinks he knows that we're going home? Mm-hmm. He's looking for spots.
What you doing, Bing Bing? You gonna go hide Mr. Bunny? Mm-hmm.
This is his third time around. He's doing laps.
Hey, Bing? Should we put Bunny in the suitcase? Should we? Should we put him in the suitcase?
Fifth time through.
Should we do that? Huh? In your bag?
Mr. Bunny wants to come with us on the trip.
Should we do that? Should we go take him upstairs? Should we go take him upstairs? We're hours away from the end of our heyday of warm weather here. And so it occurred to me, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with these little geraniums that I bought this year, which I actually bought and they were half dead. But they're these little ivy geraniums that I've had in the urn out here. And they've been great. I've literally had to do nothing to them. We'll switch this direction. It makes it easier. And they just grew and grew and grew. I completely ignored them and abandoned them completely. And yet they did a splendid job. You see these all over France. Often it's like the pink and the red together, which is an interesting combo, but it does work for them. And so anyway, so I have them here in this urn out here in the middle of a forest, basically, right to the one side of the house. And then I have a bunch out there in little tiny pots that I think I'll just bring in. So I haven't had these kind of geraniums. They feel like these kind of feel like, you know how petunias in North America is sort of like the thing that grows and you hardly have to do anything to. I feel like this is their petunia, because you can't actually get, there's petunias here, but just, it's not the same. But these are prolific, like every kind of geranium you can imagine. And I just never really loved geraniums. But this little guy, I have to say, he has won me over. So now the question is overwintering. Well, I watched a video that said cut off all the main pieces, which I have all the way around, and then cover them, because these were literally plants that were like €2 for a whole bunch of them in Super U in the, you know, late spring. This is going to be an experiment. We're not very cold here in France, so I'm thinking this should do well, but next week it will hit 0 or 32 depending on what country you're watching from. So that 32, 34 mark will not be good for these guys. So I did chop them off. I did stuff them with a whole bunch of leaves and tucked them in for the winter, and we'll see whether this works or not. It's an experiment. We'll find out whether or not this will make it in spring, or they'll be kaputs, and then we'll know for next year. Well, I'm going all out with the leaves on the geraniums that are out here. There's one in here, as well as my lemon balm that I'm hoping will overwinter, and my tarragon, which I have not tried to overwinter. All this other stuff usually makes it, which is great, but I figured I would tuck them in anyways. And any of the others where I had extra stuff, I decided to bring it in and sit it on the stove and let it dry. And then I just de-leaved them and got myself some time. Look at that, I filled a whole jar and I hardly cut any of it at all. And then I had some lemon verbena that I just dried. Hardly any stalks. And I made myself some, well, I will be making myself some lemon sugar, which I think will be fun, whether it's in tea or whatever. So I just kind of layered in the leaves. So, I mean, we'll see. Making a little lemon with the British would call lemon drizzle. It's actually Mary Berry's recipe. We'll see how it is. It's this one here. And we'll see. I mean, she's great. How bad can it be? So anyway, I hope the rest of you are putting away all your herbs for the winter and go dry some. Looks like it's gonna work out great.
Wintertime, the temperature is getting down to freezing, and so it's important for us to open up all these pipes and drain all the water that's running through this building so that we don't freeze a bunch of pipes and burst them. And we start with this big main guy, and this year I bought a really nice big pipe wrench so I can finally get it open. That's huge, as you can see, but it works now. The right tool makes all the difference. Easy as pie with this big guy. So are you ready for it? We're gonna drain all the water out of here. It may or may not come shooting out. It doesn't feel like it's gonna come shooting out. That was not much of a shooting out. Okay, we're gonna put this guy right here so we don't forget it. At first, very little was coming out, but then of course, once you open up the air, then all the water trapped way up high and the ceiling starts coming down. So now it's definitely coming in a bunch of places.
Well, it's official. It's a little frosty this morning. It was a cold one last night. Winter is winning today.
It is cold and the heater is doing its job. That's the water dripping out. And you can see we got ice. You folks might be getting tired of this, or maybe you're rejoicing with us. I'm just looking at our residential electricity now. This is so different. Look, these are each day how much we've spent. So these days when it was not too cold out, you know, we spent $1.20 during the day, 34 cents overnight, and that was our fixed bill, which I just halved because we're taking less power now. This day we left the heater on all day in our room, and so let's see if I can get over to it here. And so then again, leaving the heater on all night, 48 cents, and $4. We might have had the ovens on too. I mean, this is just such an incredible difference. Now, of course, the students aren't here, but it's also November. We don't have a lot of solar power. So like, again, we're using like some days 8, some days 10. It's really cold over here. It's freezing. So we're getting up to 13, 14. But with the old system, we would do 35 kilowatts. That's with nothing else, like just that machine. So usually our lowest day, even if we were like over here, if we were using this much power, it would read as 45. And again, the bill was so much more. Oh man, so great. Out for lunch in Angers, and we found a nice menu du jour, menu of the day, and it's 3 courses for 19, so it's not terrible. I got salmon, and Leslie got, what did you get, Les?
It's leek soup, basically.
Leek soup?
Yeah, a velouté of leek.
France does such a nice job. Don't they do a nice job in France of making a full meal? You get some, free water, you got some bread, and you got this lovely meal. Yum. Okay, Leslie's got the pork. That looks good, pork potatoes. A little bit jealous, and I have fish, which also looks very nice.
It does.
I think more bread on the way. This was a good meal for €19. 3 courses. It's a good menu du jour. Looking forward to it. Creme brulee for me. What's yours called?
I don't know, but it's a nut tart.
Chocolate something?
Chocolate and caramel nut.
Should be good.
Thanks for coming along with us this week. It's been great having you. I hope you're all having a wonderful time getting ready for the holiday season with Thanksgiving and Christmas shopping. And I've already started online because I can't do it any other way, but the work has begun.
Joyeux Noël.
Joyeux Noël.
Joyeux Noël. No.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Oh, I butchered that.